mayoral candidate being challenged. The saga surrounding embattled South Suburban politician Tiffany Henyard continues.
Will be on the general election ballot despite an attempt to block her candidacy by an ally.
Here's a refined and polished version of your passage with a stronger narrative flow and impact. Embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard finds herself at the epicenter of chaos and controversy, with many declaring the end of her political career inevitable. Once celebrated as Dolton's youngest and first female mayor, Henyard's tenure has taken a dramatic nosedive amid mounting scandals. Federal investigations loom, lawsuits pile up, and a frustrated community is demanding accountability. Initially seen as a rising star and a beacon of hope for Dolton's struggling residents, Henyard's leadership has instead been marred by allegations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and neglect. From taxpayer-funded luxury trips to skipping crucial meetings during a government shutdown, her actions, or lack thereof, have only fueled public outrage. Despite mounting pressure, Henyard remains seemingly indifferent to the consequences of her choices. As the walls close in around her, her once promising political career is unraveling at an astonishing pace, with the drama showing no signs of slowing down.
Not at the hearing here today, neither was her attorney, and she was not made available.
This week, Mayor Tiffany Henyard skipped 2 major meetings in a single day, including an emergency session in Thornton Township aimed at addressing the ongoing insurance crisis. Without insurance, critical services such as senior transportation, food assistance, and even government building operations have ground to a halt. Furious residents voiced their frustration, with one calling Henyard's absence a slap in the face to those who rely on these essential services. Trustee Cretid Gonzalez captured the growing discontent, stating, "We're on a toll road of chaos right now, and unfortunately, the residents are the ones paying the toll." However, the situation took an unexpected turn when Henyard cited credible threats as the reason for her absence, claiming concerns for her safety. Yet, no evidence of these alleged threats has been provided. Senior trustee Jason House, one of Henyard's harshest critics, dismissed the excuse, pointing out that the Board of Trustees have received no official notice of any threats. Despite her absence, the meeting proceeded as scheduled, as officials insisted that the village business could not be delayed any longer. Residents at the meeting were equally skeptical, with one bluntly asking, "If she's so scared, why hasn't she stepped down? She's clearly not doing the job she was elected to do." Public frustration with Mayor Henyard has reached a breaking point in Dolton, where protests erupted outside a village board meeting she once again failed to attend. Residents demanded accountability, accusing her of embarrassing the town and calling for her resignation. Some likened her leadership to a chaotic reality show, describing it as more of a circus than a government. The outrage isn't limited to Dolton. Thornton Township residents are also voicing their anger as Henyard pushes to reclaim a spot on the ballot for supervisor after being removed in a controversial Democratic caucus vote last month.
It's about hypocrisy. I really think
Criticism of Mayor Tiffany Henyard has intensified, with residents arguing that her repeated absences from key meetings are not just a political issue but a legal one. As the mayor of Dolton and supervisor of Thornton Township, Henyard is legally obligated to fulfill her public duties. Protesters are now accusing her of neglecting her responsibilities, with some calling for her removal from office, citing dereliction of duty. Demands for accountability are growing louder as frustration continues to mount. Henyard's critics claim she is deliberately avoiding these meetings to dodge difficult questions from both trustees and the public. Her absence during the recent Thornton Township emergency session, for example, left the board unable to address the ongoing insurance crisis, an issue that continues to impact hundreds of residents. Trustee Cretid Gonzalez didn't hold back, stating, "This isn't just politics anymore. This is about people's lives. We can't keep stalling while our seniors and families suffer." The frustration is palpable, and many believe Henyard's strategy of avoidance signals that she knows her days in office are numbered.
Again, no comment from Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Voters here will first head to the polls in February for the primary election, then the general mayor.
Supporters of Mayor Tiffany Henyard argue that the blame for Dolton and Thornton Township's dysfunction doesn't rest solely on her shoulders. Some contend that long-standing political rivalries and systemic issues, which predate her tenure, are at the root of the turmoil. "This isn't just about Tiffany," said one supporter outside a recent township meeting. "This is about a broken system that needs fixing. She's not perfect, but at least she's trying." However, even some of Henyard's former allies are beginning to distance themselves, citing her growing scandals and legal troubles as too much of a distraction for the community. The controversial Democratic caucus has become a major point of contention. Henyard's supporters claim they were locked out of the venue while State Senator Napoleon Harris and his allies secured a slate of candidates, including Harris himself, to replace her as township supervisor. Henyard has called the process illegal and manipulative, filing multiple lawsuits to challenge the results. Critics, however, accuse her of hypocrisy, pointing to her own alleged tactics of voter suppression and power grabs in Dolton. Many residents are questioning her outrage, highlighting the inconsistency between her actions and her claims of injustice.
It's in Thornton Township and in Dolton, except in one case, Tiffany Henyard wants on a ballot, while in another, a Henyard ally was looking to keep her up.
Mayor Henyard has also been active on the legal front, filing lawsuits against caucus organizers, the Thornton Township Democratic Party, and even her own trustees in Dolton, accusing them of conspiring to undermine her authority. However, these legal battles have raised concerns about the financial burden they may impose on the town. Many residents suspect that taxpayer money is being used to fund her efforts, prompting calls for transparency and accountability regarding the use of public funds for her legal expenses. As frustration grows, so does the demand for clarity on the potential misuse of taxpayer resources.
Unanimous, the objector's petition has been withdrawn.
Can't do that. Can't contest everyone.
The allegations of financial mismanagement against Mayor Henyard continue to mount. She has been under federal investigation for months, with probes focusing on everything from unaccounted funds to lavish spending on trips and events. One particularly egregious example includes an $85,000 in concert that attracted barely any attendees. Additionally, $40,000 and was spent on Amazon purchases in a single day, with no clear justification. A limited audit of Dolton's finances, conducted by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, uncovered a shocking $365 million deficit in the village general fund.
Nobody likes being manipulated, and when you get here, you know that's exactly.
Amid the ongoing drama, it's no surprise that Henyard's political allies are abandoning her one by one. Even her attorney, Max Solomon, recently sought to withdraw from representing her in an eviction case involving unpaid rent on a property she allegedly abandoned. The case, which has been dragging on since September, adds yet another layer of chaos to Henyard's troubles. Court documents show that she and a co-owner owe over $133,000 and in rent and damages. While Solomon's motion to withdraw didn't specify his reasons, it's clear that representing Henyard now feels like trying to keep a sinking ship afloat.
We need some action, somebody that's actually going to do their job. How about that? Somebody that's come in, work for the people, not themselves, and have
The primary election draws near. Henyard finds herself running out of options and allies. Her main opponent, Jason House, has been gaining significant momentum, positioning himself as the leader Dolton needs to restore order and trust. A lifelong resident of the village, House has made ethics reform and financial transparency the cornerstones of his campaign. "We need someone who's going to put the people first, not their own interests," he said in a recent statement. Judging by the crowd at the last board meeting, many residents seem to agree.
The most recognizable faces that's been on the news lately, talking about the mayor of Dolton, Tiffany Henyard.
And all of While House focuses on moving Dolton forward, Henyard appears stuck in the past, clinging to power as her support fades. Her repeated absences from meetings, refusal to address the insurance crisis, and ongoing legal battles have many questioning her endgame. Is she hoping to ride out the storm and salvage her career, or is she simply buying time before the inevitable? One thing is clear, the clock is ticking, and Henyard's days in office seem to be numbered.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Wow.
Let's talk about the title of this because it's called Supermare. And that is what Tiffany Henyard.
The reactions to Henyard's downfall have been brutally honest. One commenter captured the general sentiment, saying, "She had the golden opportunity to do something amazing in Dolton as a young black woman, yet she chose to throw it all away because her ego got in the way, disgraceful." Another pointed to a recent scandal involving alleged misconduct by a trustee during a Vegas trip, speculating, "I believe she missed those meetings because the night before, the audio and FaceTime of Trustee Holmes bragging about his shameful activities leaked. She's dodging the fallout." As the drama unfolds, residents are left to pick up the pieces of a government in disarray. Thornton Township's insurance crisis remains unresolved, leaving vulnerable populations without essential services. Dolton's finances are in tatters, with no clear plan to address the massive deficit. With Henyard refusing to step down, the road to recovery looks long and uncertain. However, there is hope. As one resident put it during a protest, "We've been through tough times before and we'll get through this too, but first, we need to clean house." With the primary election just weeks away, the question remains, will Tiffany Henyard finally face the consequences of her actions, or will she find a way to cling to power? Who has what it takes to lead Dolton and Thornton Township into a brighter future? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding saga. Stay tuned, because if there's one thing we've learned about Tiffany Henyard, it's that the drama is far from over.